Good morning, wet shavers and podcast lovers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put on your earbuds, adjust your speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a little bit of this and a little bit of that in podcast form. Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3MB airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or perhaps something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat, discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, and books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning again. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Second Cup. Great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I've got the Lavazzo Espresso Italiano that viewer Alex Lopez very, very kindly sent along. Boy, this is a really, really good cup of coffee. Made some more in my coffee maker, and it is really a delightful cup of coffee. And here's something else I've been meaning to share with you on the Monday morning mailbag. It's Agave 5. This is a low glycemic sweetener. I'll link below in the podcast description where you can find all the links and details about today's podcast. But it's called Agave 5. It's a low glycemic sweetener. And it's from a company called Madhava, M-A-D-H-A-V-A. And only 5 calories. So if you're looking for a sweetener other than sugar, check this one out. It really is very, very good. Now, I like my coffee black, but every once in a while, I like to put in a little bit of sugar, maybe a little bit of cream, that sort of thing. And this has really been a nice substitute for sugar. So we're enjoying that in my coffee this morning as well. So again, thanks for tuning in. We're going to kick things off with some discussion of the Yaqi Tile Razor Head. If you saw the Monday morning mailbag or the review that I did last week, it was a Friday review. What a terrific razor. It looks like a Henson razor, only it's made out of stainless steel. Now, the Tile Razor Head is in the exact same shape, or very, very close to that of the Henson razor. And the handle, I'm told, is called a bolt, the bolt handle. And together, I had read at Mr. G Shaves channel, a viewer there said that together, the razor head and the handle, together the razor then is called the DeLorean. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm sure someone will correct me if that is incorrect. But anyhow, it's a stainless steel razor. It is a clone of the Henson, and it's been giving me some very, very nice shaves. But there has been something that I just can't put my finger on. There's something there that doesn't make it identical to the Henson. Now, I received this question from viewer Charles Price. And again, I didn't notice this until after the Monday morning mailbag was already in place and ready for broadcast. And I wanted to share it with you this morning. He asked this question. Looks like the first version of the Henson. Does it have the suction sensation like the first one? That the light bulb went out when I read that. I thought, that's it. That's the difference. It's the lather channels that the Henson razor head has. It moves the lather out of the way. The Yaqi Tile Razor Head does not have that. That lather will build up on the face of that razor head. I was wondering why I was always slipping past, so to speak. That's because the lather was building up on the razor head and I should have been rinsing. So I think with the Yaqi Tile Razor Head, you're going to be rinsing a little more often than you would with the Henson, because Charles is right. The Henson allows for better more efficient and more effective blade contact with the skin. They have those lather channels in that razor head that just moves that lather out of the way, and I think the Yaki lacks those lather channels. Now, the newest version of the Henson razor, which is a little different from the original version, which is what I have, they supposedly have improved those lather channels. So looking forward to someday trying that new version of the Henson, sometime down the road. But that's the difference. That's the difference. That really pinpoints the difference between the Yaki razor head and the Henson. The Yaki just does not have that suction feel. The contact that the blade makes with the skin is not as efficient and as effective as the Henson. Now, it is very good. It's just that I have to remember to rinse the Yaki more frequently. I think that's what is at play here. So Charles, thanks very, very much for that question, because as I say, the light bulb went off when I read that, and I thought, that's it. I wasn't able to pinpoint what the difference was. I mean, the weight of the razor, sure, that's a big, big difference. That's obvious. But there was something else, and Charles' question absolutely just brought that to light. So thanks again to Charles Price for that. Beth Jones also passed along this regarding the Yaki razor. And she wrote, I just finished watching your shave video with the Yaki tile razor. Great video. I got curious about this razor due to your observation of the similarities to the Henson razor with regard to shape of the razor head and the blade clamping. I found this blog that I found to be very interesting, discussing the Yaki versus the Henson. This is a blog, a wet shaving forum called The Wicked Edge. And I will link to that. And they are discussing the differences between the Henson razor and the Yaki tile razor head. And from what I've read, and I've gone through some comments, it seems to me that folks are leaning towards, they think the Yaki is okay, but the Henson is the superior razor. And I think, again, it has to do with the lather channels and the contact that the blade makes with the skin. It just makes more contact more consistently. The lather moves out of the way. The Yaki, I don't believe, has that. Now, I'm sure that if the folks at Yaki are listening to this, they're probably going to go back to the drawing board and look at it. Maybe this is being discussed somewhere else on the internet and other wet shaving forums, and people have figured it out, the lather channels. So who knows? Maybe there will be a version 2 of the tile razor head. I don't know. But my thanks to Beth Jones for passing it along. Beth, thank you very, very much. That was really, really very, very helpful. And thanks again to Charles Price. Really great information about the Yaki razor. I'll have links to both the razor head and the handle below if you're interested in making the purchase of those. Thanks again, folks. Mark Bagwell sent along some additional information regarding Leah shaving products. Now, this is the company that's based out of Spain. They will ship to Canada and to Puerto Rico, but unfortunately, they will not ship to the United States. That's where the additional information comes in, and my thanks to Mark Bagwell for sending it along. We talked about Leah shaving products on the Monday morning mailbag, and Mark very kindly sent along some additional links where you can buy these products that will ship to the United States. Some of these are from perfumesclub.us. They seem to carry the Leah shaving product line, or as much as they can, and also yourshaving.com. They also carry some other things that you can find based in Europe but won't ship to the United States. Perfumesclub.us and yourshaving.com will carry some of those products and ship them to your door right here in the United States of America. So that's very, very nice to know. And there are a variety of products like Noxzema Cocoa Butter Shaving Cream, the Leah Shaving Cream, some Cella Shaving Cream. And the reason why we're mentioning this is because the euro and the dollar are equivalent right now. So you can get some really, really nice deals on some of these European products that are coming directly out of Europe. So I just wanted to pass that along. Also, some additional information from Leah's product page. And again, I think it's pronounced Leah. Lea. I hope that's how it's pronounced. But they are based out of Spain. And as they write on their page here, Lea shaving products are to Spain's heritage what Dovo Solingen is to Germany and Kent brushes to the United Kingdom. Lea has been producing high-quality products for men's grooming since the 1930s. Well, I think they also produce some stuff for women as well. Over the years, the company has successfully broken into several global markets, garnering a reputation for releasing barber-grade shaving products men can use at home, with their product lines including shaving cream, shaving soap, as well as aftershave. Yeah, so they have a complete line of grooming products for men, and I also believe for women as well. I'll link to their page again. Now, one more reminder, if you're in Canada and Puerto Rico, they will ship to you. They just won't ship to the US. Not sure why, but I'll have those additional links to some of these other internet outlets where you can find the Lea products and some of these other European products that will ship to you. So I'll have all that in the podcast description underneath the broadcast. So my thanks to Mark Bagwell for sending along that additional information. Thanks very much, Mark. Have you ever heard of W.M. Newman and Company? Neither have I. Mark Bagwell, again, thank you, Mark, very kindly sent along this information regarding W.M. Newman and Company. And he wrote, I placed an order with Newman for the 1907 shaving cream. I wanted the old-fashioned soda that Mantic 59 loves, but they are either out or discontinued. They said it smelled like a root beer soda shop. Now, I would have loved that. Let me stop there for a minute there. So if you follow Mantic 59, you'll probably see some information regarding W.M. Newman and Company and this particular old-fashioned soda shaving soap. I was not aware of it. So again, my thanks to Mark Bagwell for passing along this information. And Mark continues here. They are an old apothecary shop, and their goods are in old apothecary bottles. Love the old school vibe. Now, they're located at www.wmnewman.com. That's spelled W-N and then W-M, and then Newman is Neumann.com. I will link that below. They write on their page, Dear friends, during the early years of the 20th century, our great-grandfather, William Newman, opened his first drugstore in Detroit, Michigan. As a pharmacist during the turn of the century, he took detailed notes and filled several journals with his formulas and aspirations for his business. He had a truly remarkable vision, but unfortunately, he was never able to fully complete it as he passed away unexpectedly when his son, Wilford, was just a young boy. Wilford understood the importance of keeping his father's legacy alive and maintained his father's notes and records to be passed on to future generations. Reading through William's formulary, notebooks, and journals, we learned that beyond traditional pharmacy, he had a deep passion for developing fragrances and the finest grooming products for men. He developed several prescription treatments and fragrances for prominent gentlemen whom frequented his drugstore and was dedicated to using only the finest ingredients in his preparations. He maintained an unwavering commitment to providing only the finest quality products and services. At W.M. Newman and Company, our passion is to continue his vision and legacy. Using his formulary notes, we have reintroduced some of his favorite and most popular fragrance formulas. We continue to uphold his commitment to quality and service and will always strive to meet your greatest expectations. Best regards, the Newman family. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. It does have that old school vibe. If you've seen my channel, you know I like to use these Les Pierre Lucien shave soaps, their Bay Rum, and also their Italian Barbershop because it comes in this great classic tin. And I love building a lather from that, doing a brush load. It's great. And they have these apothecary bottles and jars that their shave soaps and shave creams come in. And Their stuff just looks marvelous. Again, if you're looking for something with an old school vibe, check them out. I will link them below, and they do have some wonderful, wonderful shave soap, fragrances, and scents. Really, give them a look. My thanks to Mark Bagwell for passing that along. We'll go into a little more detail in the Monday morning mailbag down the road, but I did want to give you kind of a quick look of W.M. Newman and Company. So thanks again to Mark Bagwell for passing along the information. Tim Whitcup passed along this item regarding the Mo Razor Kickstarter. Now, what is the Mo Razor? The Mo Razor is an electric razor. And I know we talk about the traditional wet shave, but I'm passing this along because it is a Kickstarter campaign. And if you're curious about it, I'll have the link below. The Mo Razor is a rolling electric razor. That's the only way I can describe it. You really have to take a look at it, which is why I'm going to link it below. Imagine a rolling cylinder that is on a razor head, and as you roll it, it oscillates and vibrates and shaves your beard. Gives you a shave without any creams, without any oils or anything like that, like an electric razor. So instead of being a foil razor or a Norelco type razor, it's kind of like a rolling barrel razor is the only way I can really describe it. So their Kickstarter campaign starts in about, 8 days, 10 days, something like that. So I'll have the link below in case you're interested. And I know we talk about the traditional wet shave and how great the traditional wet shave is, and I love the traditional wet shave, but I thought I'd just pass this on to you in case you're curious. I know there are times when if you're traveling and you can't take your safety razor in your DOP kit for your carry-on, if you're flying away someplace, you're going to have to use something else, maybe a cartridge razor. I recommend single blade cartridge razors, that sort of thing. But sometimes, maybe you don't have one laying around. Maybe you don't want to use a multi-blade cartridge razor. Maybe you can get by with an electric razor and you're looking for one. It's a little different. This might fill the bill for you. So I just want to thank Tim Whitcup for the heads up on this. Again, I'll link it below. If you're curious about it, you might want to just sign up and get updates. I sure did because I'm kind of interested in what direction it's going and what the cost would be and that sort of thing so I can inform viewers and listeners down the road. So thanks again for this information, Tim. Really do appreciate it. Viewer and listener Jamie Horn checked in, and he wanted to know if I have ever used D.R. Harris Arlington Shave Soap. I have not. I have never used D.R. Arlington Shave Soap. I've heard of it, but I've never used it. Well, he said it's just absolutely wonderful. It's triple milled. He loves the scent. He loves the performance, and it lasts a long, long time. Now, here's the interesting thing about this soap. Here's what they have to say about their own soap. For over 2 centuries, D.R. Harris and Company has served the gentry and the court of St. James, and in 1938 was awarded the warrant as chemists to Her Majesty the Queen, later the Queen Mother, which was held until her death in 2002. In 2002, they were also appointed as chemists to His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, an honor that was added to in 2012 when they had the royal warrant for Her Majesty the Queen bestowed upon them. How about that? I never knew that at all. Now, Arlington Shave Soap contains notes of lemon, bergamot, orange, neroli, rose, and musk. It's triple milled and specially formulated to be long-lasting and produce a rich, beard-softening lather. The mahogany bowl is presented in a handsome hand-turned beech wood shaving bowl. It's made in England. It's imported for sale in the United States. It's available on Amazon. I'll have a link to it. I have never used it before. Jamie likes it a lot. He has spoken very highly of it. So if you're interested, I will have a link below for the D.R. Harris Arlington Shave Soap. I am very, very intrigued. And triple milled soaps, as I recall, tend to be a lot harder than some of the softer artisan soaps you might be used to. So you're going to have to work the brush a little bit after adding some water to that puck, but you'll get a very, very satisfying lather. And that's been my experience with a lot of triple milled soaps that I've used. But this is one that just sounds absolutely wonderful. D.R. Harris Arlington Shave Soap. So we'll pass along that link to you. Thanks very much for the information, Jamie. Really, really do appreciate it. Here's something I received from viewer and listener John Kaczynski. And he wrote, "Hi, Mark. I got the supply razor already. I ordered it late afternoon on the 12th, and it was delivered this morning, less than 2 days later. I live in the suburbs of Buffalo, New York, and the razor was delivered from Reno, Nevada. That's amazingly fast shipping. My first impression when I unboxed it, I was very surprised with the heft of the razor. When it came time to load it, I don't know why, but the blade was not injecting. The little tab on the injector button was not connecting with the blade. Only after I tapped the injector on the table did the tab catch on the blade and push it out. Go figure. I bought this razor specifically for head shaves, so I took a shower, then lathered my head and started shaving. After 3 or 4 swipes with the razor, bam, I felt a nick. My first thought was, so much for the nick stop technology. Then I quickly realized I went over a nick that I got on my last shave with my penny shaver. After that, it did not take long for me to figure out the right touch and angle, and I got a smooth, close, comfortable shave. After that, I tried a face shave with it. Keep in mind, this was the first razor to touch my face since I got my Rockwell 6S on Father's Day. Again, a very smooth, close, comfortable shave. I got one nick on my neck, but I realized right away I was going a little too fast and applying a bit too much pressure. My verdict is this will definitely be my go-to razor for head shaves. As far as face shaves go, I might use it occasionally, but I have too many other nice DE razors that I like to use. If I was told this was the one and only razor I'd be able to use for the rest of my life, I'd definitely be okay with that. So I am very happy I got this razor and fully understand why you like it so much. I'm glad I finally took your advice. Sincerely, John Kaczynski." John, thank you so much for that really, really kind email comment. I really do appreciate it. I love the Supply SE razor. I love the Supply Pro adjustable razors. These are my favorite single-edge razors, hands down. I love using them. And I think that the more you work with the razor, I think you're going to pick it up every once in a while and do a face shave with it. I really do. It's absolutely wonderful, wonderful razor. I really do enjoy it. So thanks very much for just sending that along and confirming it. A really nice review where you talk about some of the, some of the little bumps in the road along the way. And I really do appreciate your honesty. It seems that they were quickly ironed out as soon as you hit the angle and got the right touch with it. Yeah, it really is a very, very intuitive razor. And as they say, built like a tank, drives like a Tesla. Absolutely. So, hey, enjoy that Supply SE razor. And folks, I'll have a link to the Supply website if you're interested in a single edge razor. Really, I love the Supply injector razors. I think they're just absolutely terrific. I have the SE, I have the original 2.0, and I have the Pro. And I really, really love these single edge injector razors. I just think that they're terrific. So thanks again for confirming how wonderful they are, John. I use mine for head shaves. Glad to hear you'll be using yours for head shaves. Thanks again, John. Really do appreciate it. Here's a quick comment from viewer and listener Patrick Roblewski. This is in regards to the review I did on the Yaki Tile razor head. And he wrote, "Nicely shaved. I was trying to decide between the Tile and the Telstar and finally went with the Telstar. It should be delivered sometime this month. The Tile/Henson geometry is very much borrowed from the vintage Schick Krona, which was unique for its time." You know what? Thanks very much for this, Patrick. I happened to look at a picture of the Krona, the Schick Krona, and I think you're correct. The Schick Krona was a twist-open razor, but I think the geometry of that shaving head very much is something that may have influenced the Henson. Now, if you go to the Henson page, they give a whole breakdown on where their razor was originally influenced, but maybe their source of influence was something that influenced the Corona razor as well. I don't know. But really neat geometry, really helps find that optimum shave angle. And the other thing about your comment is the Telstar razor head. I am not familiar with this at all. I did a quick search of it, and it looks marvelous. So there's another razor head, folks, that another razor head from Yaki that you might want to consider investigating, the Telstar. If you don't think the tile is for you, give the Telstar a look. Now, I've never used it. I don't know if it's aggressive, it's mild. Patrick, I hope you send word along as to how it works. Would really be interested in that. And hopefully we'll talk about it down the road in a future Monday morning mailbag and also a Second Cup podcast. Patrick, thanks very much for passing that information along. Really do appreciate it. I think I'll end on a high note here. I got this from viewer and listener Adrian Vi. He left this in the comments section of one of my video reviews, and he wrote, "Why am I watching a guy in my general age group shave instead of Netflix? It's obvious. The suspense and entertainment value is on Mr. Zarati's side." Adrian, thank you so much for that very, very kind and flattering comment. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to your fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and we'll try to get it sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that Second Cup.